Have you ever been hit with inspiration to write a song, but not had your trusty guitar or writing instrument with you? Or maybe you don't play an instrument, but you want to start writing songs. Well, today we're going to talk about how to write a song without an instrument. Hello and welcome to the Homemade Songwriter. I'm Matt, and on this channel we love songwriting and we want to help you do it better. So if you find this video helpful, please like and subscribe. With that being said, let's get into 4 tips to help you write a song without an instrument. Tip number 1 is to write with a melody in mind. Even if you're primarily a lyricist, it's important to write knowing that the words you're writing are intended to be sung. So keep that in mind when you're thinking about things like word choice. Is it difficult to say? Are there a lot of syllables? Did the amount of syllables work to be sung in a rhythm together? These are all things you need to keep in mind, knowing that the words you're writing will be sung. So I find it helpful to sing a placeholder melody in your head to make sure that these words will work in a musical context. Now that being said, the voice is the one instrument that we all have with us at all times. So use that to your advantage. Even if you can't sing to save your life, we can all hum or whistle to get an idea of how those words will fit into a musical phrase. Tip number 2 is to use the iPhone GarageBand app. I use this app all the time when inspiration strikes me and I'm not near my guitar, and they have a lot of really cool features. For example, they have this smart guitar feature. So you pull it up, set the key, I'll set it to G major, done. And now here are all the chords for the key of G that I could use. So there's G, that's a 1, 4, 5 right there, minor 6, beautiful. It's so easy. So even if you can't play an instrument at all, now you can. It sounds like a sales pitch for Apple. For just 10 payments of $19.95, now you can play the guitar. It's as simple as swiping your finger. You can play each individual string or you can strum it all at once, and it's a beautiful thing. It really has everything. So G, D, minor. It's great. Super easy to use. And there's a ton of features on this thing. So there's a record button here. So I could record a chord progression and then loop it. And then I can just have that playing in the background while I'm writing, which is just going to help inspire me even more. Not to mention, if I have some headphones, I could do that and be writing in a busy coffee shop and not be disturbing anybody by playing guitar at my table. When you're writing while listening to music looping in the background, I think you automatically start writing with melody and rhythm in mind. And if you don't want to do guitar, they have other instruments on here too. So here's a smart piano. Put on the sustain pedal, and there's a piano. Okay, so let's take a little deeper dive into some of these features. So here we are on the piano. One cool thing is if you go right here, there's a ton of different instruments in here, from classic rock organs. So here's an electric piano. It's got a great sound. Or if you want to go somewhere else, here's like some synths. Let's see what this one sounds like. Super cool. Ethereal rhythm. Super fun. So there's a ton of different things in here. And if you don't want to do a keyboard, here's drums, there's amps for guitars, audio recorders, strings, bass. So let's take a look at the drums. One cool feature that I think takes your loop to the next level that you're listening to in the background is the smart drums feature, which allows you can drag in. So here's a kick. You can do anywhere from simple to complex, left to right, and then loud to quiet, top to bottom. So if you don't want to take the time to program your own drums, you can always hit this dice, just roll the dice and it'll give you a randomized drum. And here's another one. Totally different, and I can edit it from there if I wanted this to be quieter. I think that's great. So it makes it super easy to get a little drum beat going, and then that can inspire your chords, and then before you know it, you have a very simple loop in the background. So let's go ahead and make a short little loop and see what we can come up with. So I'm going to make this 4 bars instead of 8. And let's do a random drum beat. I'll edit that a little bit. It seems a little complicated. I like that. So let's record it. Sweet. So now that's recorded. Let's go to our guitar and do the smart guitar so we can play what we recorded with the drums. I'm going to move this to the key of G. So I'm ready to record my guitar part, so let's go ahead and record. Now I've got my guitar part, so let's add a bass. And just like that, it's only been a couple minutes and I have a loop that I can listen to in the background, and it'll make writing lyrics with a melody in mind and rhythm in mind so much easier because there actually is something that's in my head. Now there's a whole world in here. If you just look, they've really built a lot of things into this app. Within each instrument, if I click up here, click on where it says acoustic, and now here's the different kinds of guitars. There's a retro, wah, hard rock guitar, classic clean. So those are electric guitars. I can go to strings, and there's cinematic strings, there's modern strings, pop strings, romantic. I mean, there's a whole world built into this app that you could just do a deep dive, and you could record a song in here if you wanted to. But as far as a quick and easy writing tool to be able to come up with melodies or to get down an idea you have in your head when you're not anywhere near your instrument, say you're at a restaurant and you have an idea, it's really easy to just pull this out, jot it down, and you have it saved. There's been plenty of times that I've had some kind of melody or instrument idea and just singing it in my voice memo app, I find that I listen to it later and I have no idea what I was going for and it sounds ridiculous. But if you can actually record an idea with the instrument you were thinking, say it was a string part or a synth part or an electric guitar part, you can record a cheap version of it on here. Then recalling that idea is much quicker and easier, and you have a much better jumping off point. Tip number 3 is don't hold on to your wording too tightly. So if you just want to ignore those first 2 steps and write completely unencumbered by melody or rhythm, then you just need to set your expectations that your words are most likely going to be altered when they're set to music. People say that songs are poetry set to music, but it's often much simpler than that. The way we write and the way we speak is different, and it can be really difficult to bridge that gap. So when you get a musician to sing the words you've written, they'll likely need to be edited to fit the rhythm or the syllables or the melody or any other number of molds that serve the song. And that's really the point here, is that the song overall holds a higher value than the words or the music separately. And finally, tip number 4 is to keep it simple. This tip sort of goes hand in hand with the last tip, and that's to err on the side of simplicity when it comes to your word choice. And that is because it's easier to sing and manipulate the way we sing smaller words than it is larger words. So to make the job easier for the musician that's going to sing those words, err on the side of simplicity and let there be room for embellishment. It will be much easier to add words and keep the meaning than it is to take words away and keep that same meaning. Okay, so now you have everything you need to write. Your brain, your pen, your journal, your voice if you want to. You don't need no stinking instrument. But what's that? You don't have an idea of what to write about? Don't worry, we have you covered. In the description, there's a link to our Jumpstart Your Creativity guide, which will give you 30 songwriting prompts for free. You can thank us in your Grammy speech. Question of the day, have you ever written a song without music? How did it go, and what are your best tips? Let us know in the comments. If you found value here, don't forget to like and subscribe. All right, that is it for this one. Keep on writing. We'll see you in the next one.